Hi guys and welcome to Drive Spark. I'm Promeet and what you see over here is the all-new third generation KTM 390 Duke. Now this motorcycle launched 10 years back, that is in 2013, and the first generation created a huge boom in the Indian market, and in 2017 the second generation was launched, and now in 2023, that is right after 10 years, like a full decade, the company has launched the brand new motorcycle, and this was absolutely stunning. So let's start talking about the front end of the motorcycle. Now the very first thing that you'll notice is the design from the front. It is way more aggressive than the previous generation one. The headlight unit is a full LED cluster. You have DRLs that are placed separately on either sides. You have LED indicators, and I mean the front section, especially because of this tank extender, it looks way more aggressive, and especially from the front section and the side profile. So you have this WP suspension over here. Now this is adjustable and you can adjust it in 5-step. It is awesome. It's a 43 mm upside down fork. You can also see you get 320 mm of disc brake, and at the rear you get a 240 mm of disc brake. Now you have ABS on either ends, and we will come back to that in some time. So moving on, as you can see over here that the tank extender extends all the way up to the tank over here, and this is the fuel tank, which is 15 liters, and the previous generation one had a 13.5 liter fuel tank, so 1.5 liters has been increased, and this is a metal fuel tank. Well, now let's talk about the switchgear quality over here. On the right hand side you get the kill switch and the ignition switch. On the left hand side you get a lot of things. First of all, you get a pass switch, then you get a dedicated hazard light button. You also get some amount of buttons that you can select and go through a lot of things on the instrument console. Now this is a 5-inch colored display. You have your horn and your indicator toggle switch over here. Keyhole is located right in the center, right above the fuel filler cap, and you have some amount of plastic material going on along with this. So I mean the handlebar is upright. If I'll just sit on the bike in some time and show you how the riding posture will be. So moving on, you have this trellis frame that again it has been modified a lot. Now what you see over here is the monoshock. Now the monoshock has been moved to the side, that is on the right hand side. The previous generation one had it at the center. So since this is now placed over here and this is adjustable, the preload is adjustable by 10 ways and the rebound is adjustable by 5 ways. You can adjust it from here and you can also adjust it from here. So I mean, yeah, the suspension setup is completely adjustable on this motorcycle now, and you can also see that the exhaust system has now been fitted at the underbelly like it was there on the first generation Duke. The second generation Duke obviously had the exhaust system over here. So now since this part is empty, you can see that this looks way more sporty, way more aggressive from the side profile as well. And you have 183 mm of ground clearance, which is pretty decent for a motorcycle, and if you're two people also sitting, it will not bottom out easily. You have the small crash guard over here, and you can see that this is for your coolant level. So you have your indicator over here that will indicate you if your coolant is low, so you can fill your coolant from this. Earlier it was present somewhere here, you could fill it over here, but now it is much more accessible since it's present on the side. Now I was talking about the suspension setup. So the suspension is canted towards the right hand side. So what that has done is that has created much more space for a bigger airbox. Moving on to the seats. So this is a split seat, as you can see over here. So the pillion seat is also pretty wide, pretty long, and I think it, like cushioning wise, it is very soft. You will not have a problem in riding throughout the city or on a highway run as well. Well, this is for your pillion footrest. Again, it's a mix of aluminium and rubber on top, and this is your swing arm. So the swing arm is not a single-sided swing arm, it's a dual swing arm. And what you see over here is again the rear section. So you have a disc over here, that's a 240 mm disc. So the disc size has gone up by 10 mm. The previous generation had a 230 mm disc. Let's talk about the tire profile. So the front section gets a 110 by 70 R17, and the rear section gets a 150 by 60 R17. So it's a pretty wide tire, and you have a short mudguard over here, and the mudguard extends all the way to the back. Now the back section is again you have LED indicators, and you have an LED tail light. Now the tail light design is new, and you have grab rails over here, so the pillion can hold on to this and they can at least sit comfortably, or if the rider is going fast, they can grab onto this for their life. Now let's come to the heart of the engine, and before that let me just quickly hop on the motorcycle. So For reference, I am 6'1", and you can see that this is how the motorcycle will look when a tall person will sit. This is how the rider's triangle is. I mean, it's a pretty upright position. You will ride very comfortably. The handlebar is slightly, I mean, it's not very uncomfortable. You're not sitting too low, you're not sitting too high. It's just well balanced. So there's one more interesting feature about this. Now, as I mentioned that my height is 6'1", and as you can see that I'm very comfortably keeping my feet. So if you want the seat to be slightly higher, so the seat height is around 800 mm, and if you want the seat to be slightly higher, KTM has an option that you can change the rider's seat. So the rider's seat can, I mean, the entire seat will come off and they will give you another seat, and after that the ride height, I mean the seat height will become around 820 mm. That's a 20 mm bump of seat height, and that will be easier for taller riders to ride around. With the pillion also, you will not have a problem while riding. Now, the engine of this motorcycle is a 399cc engine. It's a single cylinder engine. It's obviously a liquid cooled engine. The radiator has twin fans. Previous generation one had a single big fan, but now it has two small fans, so that will help cool down the engine even faster. Now, power wise, this engine, the single cylinder engine, produces around 46 PS of power and 39 Nm of peak torque. The previous generation one produced around 44.5 PS of power and around 37 Nm of peak torque. Again, the power and the torque has gone up, and that has gone up despite this being a BS6 stage 2 compliant engine. So I mean, yeah, that's a really good thing. Overall guys, the bike feels extremely light because it has a curb weight of 168 kgs. That is 4 kgs lighter than the previous generation Duke. And I mean, yeah, 4 kgs is a lot of weight reduction as far as motorcycles go. So the power to weight ratio is very good on this one. Now talking about the acceleration, so the acceleration from 0 to 60, this bike can go in 2.5 seconds, and from 0 to 100 it will take just 5 seconds for this bike to reach 100 kilometers an hour, which is, I mean, this bike is pretty fast. Acceleration is pretty brisk. You have 3 riding modes in this motorcycle. You have your street, you have rain, and then you have track. And apart from that, you have modes for the ABS. So you have your regular mode for the ABS, and then you have a supermoto mode. Now in the supermoto mode, what it allows you to do, it allows you to cut off the ABS at the rear section, so you can slide the motorcycle around the corner. And you also have traction control. Traction control can be switched off. Now this motorcycle, the new one, the 3rd generation one, gets launch control as well. So you can engage the launch control through the instrument cluster over here, through these toggle switches. So you have to just go to the menu, go to launch, and then you can engage it. But when you see the launch, it will show you launch. Underneath that will show 3. So you will get 3 launches. So you will get, basically you'll get 3 launches. After that, the engine and the clutch has to cool down, and then again you will be allowed to launch the motorcycle through the launch control on this. Because what happens is, if you keep on launching it, the clutch might burn out. So because of that, they have given it a safety feature, so you can launch it 3 times, and then again after it cools down, you can again, like if you want to launch it again, you can launch for a very quick start. So yeah, acceleration wise, as I mentioned, it is pretty quick. Corner craving capabilities of this motorcycle is extremely good because of the adjustable suspension. Now before also, it was a very good motorcycle. The Gen 1 390 Duke was extremely, that was complete raw power. But the Gen 2 was slightly tamed. But this is, again, I mean, post 2,500-3,000 RPM, the bike just shoots. You can shift through gears. You get a quick shifter. You get a slip and assist clutch as well, where you don't have to use the clutch at all. You can just shift down when you're coming to a corner, so that you do not waste much time by depressing the clutch and then leaving it again. Again, acceleration wise, very quick. The motorcycle just cut through corner. These tires provide excellent amount of grip, and it has a red line of around 10,300 RPM. So, and it also has a shift light, so it will indicate you when you have to shift to another gear. Overall guys, I mean, it's a pretty good motorcycle. Again, KTM lovers, the Duke is back, and it's back in this avatar, and this avatar is just looking fantastic. Let's talk about the pricing of the motorcycle. So this motorcycle has launched at an introductory price of rupees 3,10,500. That's ex-showroom Delhi. Maybe later on the motorcycle will be slightly expensive. We are assuming since this is an introductory price. But this pricing is slightly higher than the previous generation. I think it's around 15,000 rupees higher than the previous generation one. But overall, with the changes that they have done, the pricing is just spot on. So yeah guys, this was the all new 390 Duke, and this is the third generation KTM 390 Duke. So I hope you like this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you need to know anything about this motorcycle, please mention it on the comment section and we will get back to you on that. Until then, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe to all our social media channels. I'm Promeet signing out. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, be safe and ride safe.